Welcome back. A new restaurant just opened its doors in North Tonawanda, and I'm joined now by the owner of District 37 Kitchen and Taphouse, Frank. Hi, Frank. Thanks so much for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.
Of course. I want you to start off by telling us a little bit about your background within the restaurant industry and how it led you to opening District 37 Kitchen and Taphouse.
We literally grew up in the restaurant business back in I think the 60s. My father opened his first restaurant. It was called Ruby Red's. And back then it was truly a family business where my grandmother was there making the bread and the dough, and my uncles were the bartenders, my aunts were the waitresses, and everybody was involved. And I remember growing up in that environment, and it was always, a great time in our lives. And as we all got older, we all, worked in the business. Vowed all not to get back into business. I went to school, got our college degrees, and the first thing I did when I got out of college is I got back into the restaurant business. So we opened a place in Clarence called Barafato's Char Pit, and then from there, as a family, my brothers and my sister and I, we started expanding. From there, we went and opened a place called Mississippi Muds, and then Old Man River, and we've been in the restaurant business in Western New York. When I say we, my brothers, sister, myself, since 1981. A couple years ago, the opportunity arose. Now, we've been doing business in the city of Tonawanda for years, and the city's been great. That whole area has been great to us. A couple years ago, an opportunity arose where they were doing some development in North Tonawanda, and we jumped on it because if you haven't been to North Tonawanda, it is incredible. It's really become the entertainment destination for Western New York. It's I guess you would call it an anchor store. We have the Riviera there. We've got shows, probably hundreds of shows every year, restaurants galore. And everybody's moving into that area, and it's been a big attraction. So when we had the opportunity, we were more than thrilled to be part of it, and hopefully we can, represent well.
Nice. Well, tell us the meaning behind the name.
So again, as I stated, we were in Tonawanda for all these years. This is North Tonawanda, and then if anybody from the area knows that Tonawanda, North Tonawanda, it's a thing. So we wanted it to represent North Tonawanda for this project, and North Tonawanda are the Lumberjacks. All right, so everything's the Lumberjacks. The mascot's the Lumberjacks, and we wanted to pay tribute to North Tonawanda, but we didn't necessarily want to be as cliche as the Lumberjacks. We wanted to get a little bit more creative. So when we started doing some research, on Lumberjack and Lumberjack history, we came across some stories from the early 1800s according to Lumberjack folklore. Back in the day when they used to settle territories, they used to settle them in 36 districts. They used to divide them in 36 districts. And what the Lumberjacks would say is the 37th district was a place that they used to go after a long day of hard work for good food, drink, and a place to go and relax. Some of the Lumberjacks would call it heaven on earth. So we really thought that would be a good tie-in to the community of North Tonawanda, and give them the due that they have coming to them and helping us be part of that community. So that's where we came up with that name, tying it into the Lumberjacks, but not necessarily as directly as Lumberjacks.
Very nice. Yeah. Let's talk about the food. What's on the menu?
Well, I'm going to go back to 37, District 37.
Okay.
37 craft beers.
Nice.
On tap. So once we had that number established, we said, we're already going to do craft beers. Let's expand that list. So we went 37. I guess you would call us American casual. We specialize in smoked meats. The brisket and the ribs are to die for. We've specialized in Detroit-style pizza.
Nice.
Okay, we grew up in Buffalo serving Buffalo-style pizza, and we thought everybody's right now is doing a thin, Neapolitan style. We wanted to be a little bit different.
Okay.
So we brought the Detroit-style pizza, and for those of you who have never had it, it has been incredibly received in Buffalo here. People love it, and there's not many places you can get it. But it's kind of just to describe, it's a crusty bottom, crusty sides. You get a crunch every time you bite into it, but the crust is nice and airy. It's a little thicker than a Buffalo-style pizza, and the toppings really play well with it. And like I said, the people have just loved it up to now. We just opened about a week ago.
Yeah, and let's talk about your location. Right on the waterfront, right?
Right on the water. So I think I said, I would consider us industrial modern. We've got a huge circular bar that overlooks 2 garage doors that open up to a big patio that overlooks the water, or the canal.
Nice.
So we're right on the water. Behind that, inside, is our restaurant seating. So great location, great bar,
Good
great
atmosphere.
summer vibe.
Yeah,
it's like I said, we've been open a week, and I'm starting to see the same people 2, 3, 4 times already. So
amazing.
you've hit one out when you know that people are coming and really enjoying it.
That's
so
great.
yeah, the vibe's been great.
And let's talk about the cocktails. You mentioned 37 on tap, but what about those cocktails?
We've got a great bar crew there. I'd say right now they're the stars of the show. I'm not a big bourbon drinker, but I want to say it's our District 37 bourbon old fashioned. Fantastic. I mean, it's one of my favorites. But we've got any number of cocktails. We've got mocktails as well if you're not a drinker.
Nice.
But it's been a good combination of specialty drinks, bourbon, craft beers, and again, the atmosphere is really unmatched.
Nice. Well, Frank, thank you so much for coming in. I can't wait to stop by and try the delicious food, and congrats on your opening. Viewers, if you would like to learn more about their menu or hours, you can visit District 37 Kitchen and Taphouse.com, or contact them at the number or email right there on your screen. Thanks again for coming in, Frank.
Great. Thank you for having me.